Heritage Highlights. Today we'll introduce you to the first man who lived in this house, Reverend William Cockran, and talk a little bit about his special interest in farming. William Cockran and his wife Anne first came to Manitoba from Europe in 1825 when William was hired as an assistant to a missionary in Winnipeg named David Jones. So unlike some of the other missionaries in the area, the Cockrans had a bit more of a humble beginning. Anne previously was a housemaid, and Cockran himself worked as a bailiff and a farmer while they were still in Europe. Rather than considering the work of the church as separate from his farming experiences, the young Cockran believed that European agricultural practices were absolutely vital for teaching Anglo-Christian values. His supervisor, David Jones, he disagreed. He was from a bit more of a genteel background. So in 1829, Jones actually sent Cockran away from Winnipeg to minister to a community of retired Hudson's Bay Company workers who had settled further up the Red River in a spot that was called Grand Rapids. Today, Grand Rapids is known as St. Andrews, and here the Cockrans not only built a log church, but also created a demonstration farm to teach what they called the habits of industry and economy. This complex included stores, it included barns, other outbuildings, and by 1830, Cockran had cleared 7 acres of land, planted wheat and potatoes, and reared 30 head of cattle. He also later created a grist mill for grinding local wheat using a larger version of a grindstone like this one. Cockran's farming attempts were not always successful. Generally, the missionaries in the Red River area found it difficult to adapt their agricultural practices from Europe to suit the harsh Northwest climate. The years after 1837 were particularly difficult. There was heavy rains, severe frosts, prairie fires, floods, locusts. All of these things severely reduced the yield on the mission farm. But Cockran continued to operate the demonstration farm while he served here, even after he was made archdeacon in 1853. Interestingly, large-scale farming only rose to prominence in Manitoba after 1878, partly due to the efforts of another St. Andrews resident named Edward Hay. The story goes that after Edward Hay was elected to the Manitoba legislature, he handed out free loaves of bread to the other legislators to convince them to invest in marketing Manitoba wheat and flour products to the rest of the world. This ended up creating a national and international market for Manitoba wheat and wheat products that continues to this day. Thanks so much for watching. Next time you visit the Heritage Center, be sure to explore all the different agriculture artifacts that we have set up outside, and I'll see you next week for another Heritage Highlight.